campaign is releasing these returns with a big public flourish, and they put out a new web ad today featuring prominent Republican voices like Mitt Romney, Ted Cruz, saying Donald Trump should release his tax returns. It's pretty clear then that the Clinton campaign is making a big push today to pressure Trump into releasing his returns, even though he said he won't do it because he's dealing with an ongoing audit. So just to run through those numbers real fast, Hillary Clinton's 2015 return. This is a joint tax return between she and the former president. The top line number, $10.6 million they raked in last year. A significant decrease from the year before when they made $28 million. According to the return, they paid $3.24 million in federal income taxes. So one of the big questions that's always asked, what was their effective tax rate? In other words, what kind of a tax burden did they have? The people at CNN Money calculate it's about 30.6% based on their adjusted gross income, pretty close to what they were paying in 2014, the year before Hillary Clinton started running for president, by the way. Important to say that the campaign reported the Clintons' effective tax rate was 34%. I know this is getting into the weeds, but that includes more than $300,000 a couple paid in self-employment taxes. In other words, payroll taxes, Richard, for Social Security and Medicare.
And, of course, if we add in, just to prove that the weeds are deep, state and local taxes, you can get up to a nominal tax rate of about 40%, but the U.S. tax authorities allow vast deductions, so really you do have to do it in a fairly basic way. Look, Joe, what is... Donald Trump has not released his return. He says he's under audit. The Democrats basically believe, or fear, or not fear, they think that there's something smelly in his tax affairs.
That's right, and I think the conventional wisdom from a lot of tax experts that we have talked to suggests that he's not precluded from releasing his tax returns, quite frankly. Many Republicans have questioned whether, for example, Donald Trump really is not giving as much money to charity as he has suggested he does, or that his income or that his net worth is much less. So there are some questions, and perhaps if he ever releases it, we'll find out those answers.
But in a sentence, Joe, this has rumbled on for months. All right, it's got a new lease of life because the Clintons have released their returns. However, is it likely to damage Donald Trump in this? Or are the public... I mean, for months he's refused to, so is there any evidence that this refusal is damaging him?
Difficult to say, but there is always that question of truthfulness or the lack thereof. If Donald Trump says he gives a bunch of money to charity and it turns out he didn't, or says he has an income that he really doesn't have, then it starts to build into a picture of untruthfulness, and that's a problem Hillary Clinton has as well. So this, in the United States right now, this race is a race to the bottom, and anything that affects your credibility can only hurt you more.
Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
You bet.
I freely admit there's something deliciously voyeuristic about reading somebody else's tax return. It's been a stormy start to the track and field events in Rio. This is not the kind of weather in which you want to compete, but of course it is winter in the southern hemisphere, so why are we not surprised? But Copacabana Beach is beautiful nonetheless, and that's where we will be with Don Riddell after the break.